Hi, I'm Astrid. I'd like to tell you a story of pain and healing, of hopelessness and hope restored, of a universal art and the miracle of a second chance. This is the story of a woman who wishes to remain anonymous, but whose transformation speaks louder than any name ever could. Her journey with Jin Shin Jyutsu is a powerful reminder that healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. But before I tell you this Jin Shin Jyutsu story, please subscribe to my channel, like and comment below, and share this video with someone you think might like it. Now, the story began with a funny moment of pride. She had just learned to pronounce Jin Shin Jyutsu correctly. 3 words rolling off the tongue like a song. It felt like a milestone, a personal victory. She couldn't help but share the news with people who asked how she was doing, and many did. You see, she had lived with chronic pain for years. It had become a part of her identity, a shadow she couldn't shake. But now there was something different, a spark. At first, people thought she'd taken up a martial art, a surprising idea, given her pain. She smiled and let them wonder for a moment. Then she explained. Jin Shin Jyutsu wasn't a martial art at all. It was gentle, it was ancient, it was healing, and it was helping her. Reactions were mixed. About half the people, she told, would raise their eyebrows and roll their eyes, chalking it up to another far-out Eastern thing. After all, she was living in Japan, and the unfamiliar could be easily dismissed. But the other half? They leaned in, they listened. They asked her to show them the hand positions, the self-help holds she practiced daily. And she was more than happy to share. Time passed, and so did the pain. Not all at once. No, healing rarely happens like that. But her mobility improved, her spirit lifted, her body, once burdened by weight and worry, began to change. She lost 85 pounds. 85. More than a number, it was a symbol, a release, a shedding of old pain, physical and emotional. She stood taller, she smiled more. She told people, "I'm a living, breathing testimony to Jin Shin Jyutsu." And this time, no eye rolls, just wide eyes, and sometimes tears. Then came the moment that changed everything. She met a pain specialist, an anesthesiologist with rare insight. This woman didn't see just the pain in her eyes. She saw beyond it. She saw the flicker of strength, the hint of something more, and she fanned that spark into flame. It was this doctor who introduced her, truly and deeply, to Jin Shin Jyutsu, and not just as a technique, but as a lifeline. Yes, she continued with Western treatments, epidurals, radiofrequency ablation, and others, but she combined it with Jin Shin Jyutsu. And something clicked. And now here's why this person shares her story anonymously. Because before that incredible doctor came into her life, she was done. She had reached her breaking point. Morphine was no longer enough to mask the pain. Her world was shrinking. And in that narrow, dark corridor of suffering, she made a decision to pursue euthanasia. Not out of weakness, out of exhaustion, out of not seeing a future. But then grace intervened. A healer crossed her path, and Jin Shin Jyutsu entered her life. And she blossomed. To this day, she tells that doctor how she changed her life, and every time the doctor responds, "It was you who did it all." Maybe that's true. Maybe, as she believes, it was also God's hand, placing the right people and practices at just the right time. Today, she and her doctor live miles apart, but they are forever connected by a bond, a practice, and a purpose, Jin Shin Jyutsu. As I share this story with you now, I hope you feel what I feel, that healing is possible, that no matter how dark it gets, there's always a flicker of light, maybe in a word or a gentle touch, or even just the right person showing up at the right moment. Jin Shin Jyutsu isn't magic, although sometimes it can feel that way. It isn't a miracle cure, although sometimes it can seem like that, but it is always powerful. It's a reminder that the body knows how to heal, if only we give it the tools, the space, and the love to do so. There are paths to peace, practices that soothe, people who care. And sometimes the greatest healing comes not in loud moments of triumph, but in quiet, sacred moments of surrender. If this story moved you, or if you'd like to practice Jin Shin Jyutsu regularly, I offer a weekly group session online where we get together and practice different flows. See the link below for more information. I hope you enjoyed this story. Make sure you look out for the next one. Bye for now.